Hi, I'm Ryan. Today I want to talk to you about this mystery deck. Found this on an online auction recently, and I don't recognize it, which is rare. It looks professionally created, but it doesn't look like anything official, and it has like this sticker on it and says 50-piece hologram cards, no UPC, no nothing else, has a little Magic logo, but this obviously isn't something for retail. This looks like it's something that came like direct from a factory as like a demonstration deck or something. Um, Now, I already peeked inside, so I'm not going to pretend like I don't know what's in here, but I had a really good idea of what was in here before I peeked. Because the only real options for this thing are at some kind of weird, like, um, factory thing from Magic, or it's not legitimate. So let's find out which it is. I already know. All right, we've got some cards here. Yeah, the first thing to notice is, that mana cost. We have ooh, I'll call it a D for effort on the white mana symbol, and the colorless mana symbol is red. And then it has a foil stamp, so that's, hologram cards is what the box said. These are clearly, I'm going to call them proxies. I mean, if I had to guess, they were probably made as counterfeits, but the quality of these things is so low. I haven't gone through them all yet. I wanted to just make a video going through them, because this is going to be interesting, even though these things aren't legitimate. Um, I kind of picked them up blind. I don't even know if the person I got them from knew what they were. They weren't advertising them as anything special. It was one of those, like, deck of Magic the Gathering cards. Dark Confidant. And everything about these is wrong. Like, the stock, it feels like professional stock. Like, this is high quality stock. It's not Magic stock. The cards are way too glossy. Although, to be fair, some real cards are too glossy too, but not to this level. These things are like mirror sheen. I can almost see myself in this card. Just to be pedantic, magenta is too low, black is too high, cyan is also too low, yellow's pretty good. I'll give them that. Card's damaged, so I think, someone loved these. The hologram isn't right. You can see it's like it doesn't have like the planeswalker symbol or any magic symbols in it. It's just like these random shapes. I'm going to need to get that under the magnifier here and take a look at it. And the general quality of print is actually pretty high, but it doesn't look like a Magic card. I mean, if you came to me with this and it wasn't Magic, it was, some other game I hadn't heard of. I would completely believe that these were legitimate cards that had been professionally produced for that game, and that these were sold at retail as that game. But as Magic cards, they completely fail. Just looking at the edge of this card, I'm not seeing any kind of layer in the middle of it. Before we get this under the microscope, let's go ahead and look at some of the rest of these cards and just have some fun. We've still got the red 1 there in the mana cost. Focus on the card. I think it's having trouble focusing because these things are so reflective. Yeah, I'm not that... Yeah. Oh, they at least, they got the colorless mana right, but still all the colors. This one is actually better, but still the colors are off. Like if I saw this thing, from across the table, like I'd probably think that this is legitimate. But the moment like I pick it up, it just whoa, that's not right. And the back, like that's just no. Fonts are wrong. So these aren't just complete card scans. I mean, they made them in part from scratch. Like someone put effort into these. But the font is off. Well, that's kind of neat. This one is off center. So off center counterfeit. Shifted, I'm going to say 85-15 to the left. Yep. More of the same, more of the same. Here's a mana drain. Yeah, I mean, like normally if I had a counterfeit, I'd be doing like a side by side. Oh, look at this, look at that. Let's compare these. There's nothing to compare. These are just god awful. So what's interesting is that some of them, have the same degree of off centering, like this Caracas and the Liliana. Like these were, like if they're not from the same sheet, they were at least cut at the same time. But others of them aren't. Like this Bitter Blossom is cut fairly evenly. So I wonder if these are from multiple sheets, or maybe like they had to replace some of them because they were so off center. Man, yeah. So even like the mana symbols, like this black mana symbol, that's better than the white one, but it's not right. I apologize for the terrible quality of this. Like my camera is just having a fit trying to focus on these things. Even the camera's looking at it and saying, "Oh, right, that doesn't look quite right." There we go. So yeah, it'll focus on my hand, and I shift over here. Now we've got it. There we go. Just try and hold it right there. Yeah, the black mana symbol, like it's closer, but it's still not right. Oh, they don't even sound right. Don't smell right either. Taste is pretty close. Again, that red, I wonder, like, that has to be a mistake. Like, at some point they screwed that up and either, like, didn't want to make the effort to redo it or looked at that and just didn't know that it was wrong. Like, this makes me wonder if the people who made these, were they just trying to make a quick buck, or, like, do they not know Magic cards, like, at all? Yeah, that white mana symbol, like, even from across the table, just no. And this one even looks misregistered. Like the yellow looks like it's offset. I'm going to set this one aside to look at also. Yeah, Karna's seen better days. Portaferry. So yeah, some of these look a little desaturated. This one, yeah, this one has like a hickey up here, like a little ink blemish. Oh, I shouldn't have. I've moved away even for a moment. Like it just isn't focusing. All right. Well, I'm going to set this one aside to look at this little ink blemish up there where it says Kozilek. Oh, geez. It's a little too saturated. So, and these are all like obviously high dollar cards. Like, yeah, my big question is, were these made to fool anyone? I can't imagine anyone who's played Magic even for a week and picks one of these up, like they might not know it's fake, but they're going to know it's not quite right. 3 Snappies and then some Lilianas. Yeah, so we've got this mix is actually pretty consistent with some of the Chinese fake decks that I've seen. I researched counterfeit cards for my book to understand all the different generations of counterfeits and where they're coming from and how to spot counterfeits. I don't talk about it too much because I don't want them to be able to make like better counterfeits or whatever. So let me turn this off and we'll switch over to the microscope so we can laugh at how bad these are. Which, I mean, For entertainment, well worth the $10 I paid for these to have a good laugh. So let's look at the quality of print here. Yeah, so this, all right, let me get like a nice big area. So this appears to be, I mean, I don't know if it's offset printed, but it doesn't look like it was printed with like a laser printer or anything low dollar like that. I would say this is probably just like a really poorly done, maybe an early Chinese. I've got a little bit of issues with some scumming on the text. Not dithered at all, though. So this, yeah, again, proves that this isn't a scan, like someone laid out this text from scratch to try and make it look like the original. Yeah, but some of this, see, this was scanned. See, this is dithered and it shouldn't be, which means that they took a scan and then rasterized it. There's that horrible white mana symbol. Oh my god. Yeah, so not only is it red, but look at that registration. Oh my gosh, if this was a real Magic card, this thing would be worth a fortune. Look at like the magenta versus the yellow in that 4. Oh wow. Someone gave 0 cares about the quality control of this card. I wonder if like because I got like some failed cards from a counterfeiter one time when they were like, yeah, you know, we were making these cards and we screwed up a couple batches and we were going to throw them away, but you can just have them. Like, we'll just throw them in if you like, that kind of thing. So I have some like misprint counterfeits that they were going to throw in the bin, and they're about like this quality. Like some of them are even better than this. So let's look at this Kozilek now. See what's going on over here. Yeah. Okay, I don't think that's a hickey. That's like it's like perfectly round, and the edges on that are like pretty perfect. It's just like a round circle. So I'm wondering, like, I don't think this is a hickey. I think that this is like a flaw in the text. Like they accidentally like overlaid a circle on that thing, because that looks like a layout error. Like that does not look like a print defect. So now this has me wondering, like, do they even like understand English, whoever made this? Like they saw this and didn't have a problem reading it, and it was like, no, that looks fine to me. Like you just put it out just like that. So this looks bad. This looks so bad. Oh man. I can't believe they tied up printer time to do something like this. Let's look at this hollow stamp down here. Yeah. So random like geometrical shapes, no pattern in them that I can see. Like it's just something so that you turn it in the light and you can see there's like different sections in it, even though they're not shaped anything like the real thing. But you know, they put off different colors so that if you're paying 0 attention whatsoever, like from, you know, your peripheral vision, it looks kind of okay if you're not paying attention. Oh, I'm not even like, I didn't even get to like the point where I would nitpick these and see like, you know, do they have typos? Because I'm positive if I went back through these and looked at them, like there would be other things that are screwed up on them. I want to look at this card back. Yeah. But again, like the quality of printing is actually not terrible. Like they've got okay, like, well, the screen angles are pretty industry standard, but I'm not seeing a lot of problems with scumming. Like they obviously have some registration issues though. I know one thing everyone likes to see, like I think that information has gone kind of the mainstream, is like, oh, let's see like the green mana pip. You know, oh, look at that. There's more magenta in the green mana pip. It must be fake. And yeah, that's not what that should look like at all. At all. Yeah. So I want to look at some of these built features, like where all the layers are stacked on top of one of another, and that's where you can really see how well the print is aligned, and like in the greens and the purples and things like this, where because this lettering was built in halftone, so this is all of the layers layered one on top of another, and you can see like a shadow on it where it's like more green on the top and purple on the bottom. Yeah, which means that the yellow is shifted slightly up, the magenta is shifted slightly down. It looks like the cyan is shifted slightly down, like it's just like, yeah, there's like a rainbow halo around these letters showing that it's not aligned properly. What really stood out to me, like on this Arena Rector, oh yeah, look at that. So you've got the yellow is like a millimeter above the other layers, cyan is high, magenta is low, and so that's like creating like these stripes going across the card, which was what immediately stood out to me. It just looks funny. So if I go to like any symbols that contain, you know, multiple layers, yeah, you got stuff just like sticking out all of that. Looks awful. These are some of the worst counterfeits I've ever seen that someone actually put effort into. And that's saying a lot. I've handled quite a few counterfeits. Cards do have a nice snap to them. Oh, but they also crease like nothing else, just like flicking it, just like that, like it would do nothing to a regular Magic card. I think I started a little tiny crease on the edge of this one. So I guess that, yeah, maybe the stock isn't as nice as it appeared to be at first blush. But yeah, just for giggles, let me take some random card I've got lying around, and compare some of these features. Yeah, so there's a real card. Good alignment. Got a proper font on it. This is really apples and oranges, because this card is quite a bit different from these. Here we go. Want to look at that next to this. Yeah, that quality of print actually looks pretty close. Like the LPI, like the fineness of the printing, like the size of the dots, is actually comparable. I'm going to guess probably about 200 LPI, maybe 175. I'm probably 200 though. I don't know what they're actually at for real cards. The text is pretty comparable, is pretty nice. The stock is completely wrong. The gloss is completely wrong. Like the gloss on this card is even shinier than it is on this foil card that we're looking at below it. And then side by side, I mean, like, can you pick out the fake? Like which one looks wrong? You know, there's only two, so it's not even like, you know, which one of the three or however many stands out, but just one of these, like, you can tell, you know, mix them all up, like, holy crap, it's not even close. So that's fun. That was good for a laugh. Really bad counterfeit deck that I got from someone that this is probably some like sample deck, like just to show off the quality of their counterfeits from the early days of counterfeiting. Well, I want to say the early days, but looking through this, like what do we have in here? Well, this card is from 2018, so that means that it can't even be from, you know, that early of the days. I think the counterfeiting blew up around 2016. So this is like a garbage counterfeit from like past when they should have been this much garbage. Anyways, these will go in my fake collection to compare to other fakes and to laugh at and to spread awareness about what fake and what real cards look like. Yeah, counterfeits to prevent people from getting ripped off by these counterfeiters. Anyways, that is the hilarious counterfeit deck that I picked up not knowing what it was, and I hope you enjoyed the video.